leadership for me is not your role. It's not your position. It is how you're able to lead yourself. I think that's the first thing. And that's probably what's shifted. So previously, when I was younger, I thought leadership meant class captain, prefect, the boss. It was linked very much to a role. But as I've gone through my own journey, I realized it's your ability to show up as yourself and be comfortable with yourself and impact the people around you. Growing up, I never realized I was a woman. And it sounds strange, but it is what it is. Because I always just saw myself as an equal, as someone who's an individual who's here, who's contributing. And I think what was really nice about that is that I could just show up like that without the weight of I'm representing a population group or whatever the case is. I walk into the room, it's just me. I must show up and just be myself. Exactly. I think the time of being the first and only woman time is out.
Gone.
It's long gone. We are there, we're occupying spaces. We just need to believe that we deserve to be in those spaces and that we've done the work to get there. And you don't have to behave like a man to stay there. Sometimes I know they say the thing that got you there won't keep you there, but sometimes the thing that got you there will keep you there.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to INbrief, a podcast by the Institute of Internal Auditors. This is where we share ideas, stories, insights, and everything that's shaping the internal audit profession. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We really hope you enjoy our content enough to subscribe and stick around for the journey. In today's episode, we are celebrating women in internal audit. For those who don't know, the 9th of August is National Women's Day in South Africa, and we've decided to use this moment to shine a light on the amazing women that are in the internal audit industry. To kick us off, I will be having a conversation today with Refilwe Mogorosi. Refilwe is the head of Quality Assurance and Improvement Program at Absa. Refilwe, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to our studio.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, it's a very long title. So what we call it in my team is QUAPE.
Oh, yeah, that helps a lot. How are you feeling today? How's it going? How's the mid-year fatigue,
It feels like year-end fatigue, but yeah, feeling good and really honored to have been invited, especially in Women's Month. So excited for the conversation and hoping that I bring what you expected me to bring.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about yourself, where you're from, how you got into auditing, how you got to the current role that you're in. Just let the viewers know. Yeah, just everything about you.
Cool. So, not everything about me. Well,
What you care.
it's a safe space, but I not that safe. So as you said, I'm Refilwe Mogorosi, currently the head of QUAPE at the Red Bank. So essentially what that means is I enable the auditors to do their job and I also get to audit them. So it's a dual responsibility and I sort of stumbled across it. But I'll start with, I grew up in Johannesburg, born, bred. December, there's no kutuging. I stay here. So, so I grew up here, child of a single parent, my mom and a sister. The three musketeers. My life is pretty much in a box and I appreciate it because I went to Robin Hills and then primary school, then Northcliffe High, then UJ, everything is in like a 10-kilometer radius. My life has pretty much been in that sort of box. Then when I started my career, I was at Vodacom for about 6 months in finance. And then one day I remember clearly my sister sent me an email to say F&B is looking for graduates. And then I ended up taking up that role. And it was a good move. I enjoyed my time there. It was like a business role where I was writing credit applications and then calling farmers, you need to sell one of the cows, you're overdrawn, that sort of thing. And then we had this beautiful discussion about the career that I could have in this field, where I'll go to a branch, I'll come back, and then, be the salesperson. And I was like, no ways, I'm not a salesperson. I don't want to work in a branch. And funny enough, the same week, then a role came up to be an intern in internal audit within the First Rand Group. So I took that up, moved across, and ended up, living my passion, which is internal audit. I know it's funny for some people that would be a passion, but it's a career where you get to go to work every day trying to make things better within the corporate space. It's not about being a policeman or catching people out. It's about helping, and that's something that I enjoy doing. I enjoy helping and I enjoy adding value. So I get to do that, and if I get to do it for my profession, even better. Yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah. And when I'm not in the career, I'm a huge rugby fan. If you would have seen the IIA Johannesburg and Pretoria Youth seminar, you'd have heard my analogy. I brought two of my favorite things together: internal audit, rugby, to the point that my nails are even green because it's Springbok season. So yes, so I love rugby. I love sport actually. I think that sports people, they're incredible. The amount of discipline and the pressure that they're under, it's incredible to just watch them. Yeah, yeah. Then I enjoy dancing. I used to be a salsa dancer once upon a time. Yeah, I think those are the things I can share.
I guess it also helps that the Springboks are like the best in the world. There's also
Yes, it does help. But yeah, there was a point where they were not the best in the world. Yes.
some of us think we joined in now. It was like, we know. Yeah. So. And then what drew you to quality assurance specifically? Was it something that drew you, or is it something that you've always been planning to get to? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I never planned to get into quality. Bumped into it by accident, but it was a very happy accident. So there was an opportunity that came up in the COIP space, and ordinarily I would not have even looked at the vacancy, because the dream is to become a chief audit executive, and and the steps is like auditor, manager, senior manager, head of portfolio head, CR, chief audit executive. So that was a beautiful plan. And then when the role came up, I spoke to a few people about it. And they spoke to me about what quality assurance actually does. So it's not just, like I said, just about auditing the auditor, but it also looks at enabling them to do what they need to do. And it reminded me why one of the reasons that I got into the profession was so that we can position it as a profession of choice. I think for a lot of people that sometimes stumble into audit, we had the CA dream, and then quickly realize maybe that's not where I want to be, and you bump into internal audit. And I've always wanted to be a part of making it a choice profession, and quality assurance gives you one of the tools to do that, because you get closer to the standards, you're able to contribute to the shaping of the profession, the shaping of an internal audit function, and also having practiced audit and moving into quality assurance, I understood the pain that we're on this side of the table and tried to flag it on the other side. But then I also realized when I was on the other side, I'm like, oh, that's why they were making us do all these things. So it's the ability to bring those two things together. So I stumbled into it by chance. I had the right conversations, luckily, and I'm very happy that I made the move. Yeah.
But what did you want to be when you were a child? When you growing up, what was the dream?
Before the other professional body told me that I'll get 550k as a starting salary as a CA. Before that one, what did I want to be? It's a very good question. I think I went through wanting to be a nurse, and helping people. And then teaching became a thing. But then in high school, I was very good at accounting. And it was so like, okay, this accounting thing makes sense. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then when you reflect on your career so far, what would you say was your turning point? So the moment things really started aligning for you. When would you say that was?
So I think one of the big ones was a move from business into audit. That move, I went from a permanent job where I was doing very well, very well, and people had a dream for me, to an internship where then you're getting a stipend and the security is gone. And in the context of, how I grew up, security is very important. But I think making that jump and taking that risk opened a lot of doors for me. And I moved into the profession that I studied for. So I think that was a big jump. Another one was moving from the turquoise to the red bank. So there I met an incredible woman, Helen. She was my line manager at the red bank, my first one. And she has a way to bring out the best in someone, but also make you believe in what she's seeing. So that actually gave me confidence to grow and allowed me to jump from an auditor to audit manager in a year, and then to head of QA in 2 years, just because of that sort of support that I got from Helen. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's always, mentors are always great. Like the environment always helps when it's productive, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, was there ever a time when you questioned your path in internal audit, and what kept you going? I don't know if you want to go back to when you jumped.
No, the jump I didn't raise
You didn't question it there. Okay, so what did you question?
I think so. The reason I got into audit, as I said, like, it's to help, it's to add value. And the worst part about audit for me is raising findings. I know it's a part of what we need to do, but sometimes it's just like, gosh. I walk into a room and people are anxious. Is it even worth it? And I think in the context of corporate, sometimes I'm like, we sit here in front of our laptops or we have meetings, and so what? If we're not here, the price of bread doesn't change.
Like what?
The world doesn't become better. And then I pull myself out of that, just because as audit, we bring trust. So in the context of the red bank, I'm there to protect the trust of that bank. So if I wasn't there, maybe people wouldn't trust. And the weight of a bank is the weight of an economy. And if people didn't trust the bank, then something would happen to the economy. So I am contributing. It's just not a contribution where, I'm at a children's home and, looking after kids where I can see it immediately. And also where people are not like pushing back on my gulp. And it's always really funny when you're in the moment and you feel like, why are we even doing this? I'm hurting people. I'm putting them to a disadvantage. And then you go back to the environment 6 months later, you're like, but they're doing what you recommended.
Exactly.
So it's not that bad. But yeah, when you're in it, sometimes it feels like, am I really even adding value? I'm causing stress.
Am I even here?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Okay, so now we're going to play a quick question, just to lighten the mood before we continue, and just so our viewers can get to know you just a little bit more. It's called quick fire, where we ask you something and then it's either this or that. Okay. You don't need to explain unless you feel like it needs an explanation, but it goes very quickly and it helps just our viewers get to know you a bit more. Okay. Can I start? Okay. Heels or sneakers in the office?
Sneakers.
Okay. Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Okay. Call or text?
Please text.
Isn't that everybody?
Call
like
me.
The anxiety of a call.
Exactly.
Just even the ringtone is like, oh my goodness, could you not text it?
My phone doesn't even ring. The phone silent.
Okay, no, mine's on vibrate, so I'm one step at least now.
No, you better.
Coffee break or power walk?
Can I have coffee while I walk?
Boom.
Yes, please.
Books or podcasts?
Podcasts.
Okay. Meetings or deep work?
Deep work. A meeting is like a call.
Oh yeah. Teams. Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Work from home or office vibes?
Work from home.
No, let's all agree work from home. Mentorship or sponsorship?
Sponsorship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything you feel you need to explain?
I will say, and I know it's not popular, sometimes I don't get mentorship. I don't get what we're trying to achieve with it. And I don't know why I don't get it. And I get people asking me to mentor them. And I'm encouraged to find a mentor. I'm just like, so we're gonna sit and then do what? So if someone can really explain it to me, please do reach out and help me understand.
What's the point?
Yeah, but I've seen sponsorship in action again. If I think about Helen, so yeah, so sponsorship is tangible. I can understand what's happening there, but yeah, help me with it. Help me with the other one. Yeah.
Okay, let's continue with our questions. Okay, the next one is, what does leadership mean to you? And has your definition of it evolved over time?
Yeah, it's a hard question.
Leadership.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we make it this huge thing. And yes, leadership is very important because it sets the tone. And okay, I'll speak about it from a person's perspective. A leader sets the tone. They set the weather of a room. So it is important, but leadership for me is not your role. It's not your position. It is how you're able to lead yourself. I think that's the first thing. And that's probably what's shifted. So previously, when I was younger, I thought leadership meant class captain, prefect, the boss. It was linked very much to a role. But as I've gone through my own journey, I realized it's your ability to show up as yourself and be comfortable with yourself and impact the people around you. So I think that's probably how it's evolved. And strangely enough, we were talking before this about how I'm usually in your chair. This week I was actually interviewing one of my colleagues for our own internal newsletter, and she spoke about how management is the what. A manager tells you what to do. A leader is able to show you how to do it or tell you how to do it. And I'm still reflecting on that because it's very easy to say, okay, move the glass, but will you be able to move it when I leave the room?
Yeah.
Without me telling you the how. So that's also part of leadership. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I won't take credit for this one.
Okay, and then have you ever felt the pressure to lead or show up in a particular way as a woman in leadership?
Oh, I'm a woman in leadership. I think first before I answer that is, growing up, I never realized I was a woman. And it sounds strange, but it is what it is. Because I always just saw myself as an equal, as someone who's an individual who's here, who's contributing. And I think what was really nice about that is that I could just show up like that without the weight of I'm representing a population group or whatever the case is. I walk into the room, it's just me. I must show up and just be myself. Exactly. And then when I moved into this head of role and I got all the emails, you go girl, girl boss, girl power, you're doing it for all of us. I was like, I'm doing what for all of who? You're representing. Who am I representing? So it was like a bit of a shock. And then I realized, wait a second, I actually have a big responsibility here. And for me, it's not a responsibility to never fail, because I think that's also too much of a weight as a woman in leadership. But it's a responsibility to be authentic and a responsibility to create space for a woman that will come after me. So I think I haven't particularly changed because I'm a woman leader. It just, that title made me realize that I have a deeper responsibility. And sometimes it's like, I have to show up even when I don't feel like sort of like I could go by 600 million. And it's like, okay, and I don't work anymore. And I'm like, but firstly, that's not the dream. And secondly, there's a responsibility that is on my shoulders. So I have to show up, be myself. And, it's not about being a superhuman. It's also sometimes getting to a team meeting and saying, guys, I'm feeling grumpy today. I'm feeling tired. I'm not in the mood. I apologize if I'm going to be, harsh but this is how I'm feeling and we'll get over it. So
We'll work it out.
we'll work it out. But yeah, but it also, it's a safe space that you create. But yeah, a long way to
And trust. Yeah.
Yes, trust. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what do you think still holds women back from rising into leadership roles, especially within the internal audit industry? What would you say is holding them back?
Yeah.
If there is.
It's an interesting one in the context of internal audit. I think in the profession I am seeing a lot of women leaders, so I don't know if there's anything really up there that's holding us back, because I can see us there.
Yeah. Either.
But I think if I speak in general, maybe corporate, imposter syndrome is a big one.
Yes.
It's this thing where you don't think that you're good enough, or you think that you must have all the
Certain
things,
qualities
yes,
in order to belong.
and have them all perfect in order to get there. A friend of mine has been interviewing for a role and spoke about how someone was not qualified, but he walked in confidently and he was able to answer the questions. And it was like, okay, but as a woman, how many times have you not even looked at the role because you're like, I'm not qualified.
Yeah.
I don't belong. I don't meet the requirements. Yeah. So I think that's one thing. I think another thing what we spoke about is carrying the weight of that responsibility and flipping it to say it's not a weight, it's a privilege to be able to do this for the people that will come, after you. But what holds us back is that weight is, if I get there and I mess up, does that mean the door is going to be closed forever? So exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely another one. And I think people think that women want to be the first and only. I think the time of being the first and only woman time is out.
Gone.
It's long gone. We are there, we're occupying spaces. We just need to believe that we deserve to be in those spaces and that we've done the work to get there. And you don't have to behave like a man to stay there. Sometimes I know they say the thing that got you there won't keep you there, but sometimes the thing that got you there will keep you there. Exactly. Maybe you just need to touch up a few other things, but if you're a hard worker who's on time, that keeps their word, surely that will keep you where you've gone. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what do you believe is the most overlooked leadership trait that women often bring to the table?
I think it is help. It's servanthood and help. And I'm Christian in the context of Edza. Help in the way that Eve was created to help Adam. She wasn't created to be like a servant. She was, if you look at the word that is actually used, it's the same way that you use that God helped me. That's the help that Eve brought. So I think we overlook help because we think that if you are the one to, I don't know, book the meeting room or order the coffee, and it comes natural for you. You walk into a room sometimes and you see what needs to be done and you do it. But then it's like, but then you'll be perceived as you're not executive. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Because I can get the coffee and make the decision at the same time. But I think that sense of bringing help into a boardroom, bringing that sort of concept into a conversation, sometimes it's like, but that's a bit soft. It's like, it's not soft, because if I identify spaces for help, even for colleagues and that sort of thing, then we're able to look after the wellness of our teams. We're able to look after their well-being. But because we overlook that quality of help or servanthood, women might hold back on that, and maybe that's why we're seen as these harsh leaders. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And then have you faced any gender-based challenges in your career, and how have you navigated them?
maybe I'm oblivious and naive, but no, I haven't. I don't think I faced challenges. Yeah, because I'm a woman or anything. But remember, it's because I didn't see myself.
Yeah,
As though
you just saw yourself as one of the others. And
yeah. And if I face a challenge, then it would just be
we keep
break
it
through the wall and keep it moving. There's no
what time you're doing. So
exactly.
yeah. Okay, great. Have you had to unlearn or let go of anything in order to grow as a leader?
Yes, I think doing, trying to do everything. You can't. It leads to burnout. I've been there.
Multitask.
Yay. Yay. It's I don't know why this came up, but it reminded when I was in varsity, I wrote a play, then I directed the play, then I produced the play, then if I could have acted, I would have acted the play. And then the feedback that we got from the judges was like, it's a great script, it's a great concept, but you couldn't see it from the perspective of the viewer because you were doing everything. So, I mean, I didn't learn that lesson because I came to corporate. I still tried to do everything. But I've had to firstly understand that hard work is good, right? But the nature of the work changes. So as you grow, you're not the one who's documenting all the working papers and doing all of the analytics and all of that. You have to step away and be the one that thinks about how to teach the how. So that's something that's helped me grow. And I've had to unlearn that I must do everything myself. Yeah.
You must learn to delegate, etc.
Yeah. What does that mean? I understand the concept, but it's sometimes, and I think maybe to the high performers that are watching, the other thing is you sort of just do it yourself. Like you just do, and it's natural for you.
You're like, let me just get it done.
And it's like, no one had to tell me. So how am I going to tell someone else? Like, what must I tell you? I don't want to insult your intelligence. You could just do it. So I think that's why I struggle with delegation, because I'm like, you can see that the coffee needs to be there. So just, but yeah, I'm getting better at delegation. But yeah,
we grow and learn.
Exactly. Well, we sometimes really have to learn the same lesson
over and over before we actually exactly. Okay, and then looking back, I think I know the answer to this one. Looking back, who were some of the women who inspired or supported you along the way? I know that Helen. Definitely. And that people.
Was it someone else? Yeah. A few years ago, I did this long LinkedIn post about on Women's Month, about all the women that have supported me in my career. The first is my mom. She thinks that I can do anything. Like she thinks, like now, even this interview, she's like, send me the link. I want to watch just a superwoman. Exactly. So, knowing that she has my back and she supports me, I've always flown because of that. Your primary school, I'm going to tell you the whole story. From primary school, there were two key teachers, Mrs. Tawil and primary school and high school, Mrs. Tawil and Mrs. Van Copenhagen. Mrs. Tawil gave me detention because I didn't have a flip file, because we didn't have money to buy a flip file. And usually people are like, oh, I'm sorry, it's fine. She's like, sorry, my girl. You need a flip file. Life is life. You knew you needed a flip file? Break detention for you. So never again did money become an excuse. I used to tickle people's backs for 50 cents. I made a plan, and I used to sell like tiny toys. I don't even know where I got them from, but I never had money as an excuse for a reason that I can't do anything. Mrs. Van Copenhagen, people that are so authentic that they don't, they are who they are. She's a nice, arty, Afrikaans lady that just is. So she taught me the power of just being, as opposed to trying. Being yourself. Exactly, yeah. So that's those two. Debbie De Beer at the Turquoise Bank.
Okay.
She gave me my first gig and in banking. And then she gave me an award for the best relationship analyst, and I was shocked. And she's like, "Don't ever be shocked again. You need to understand that you bring it, own your power." And I was like, "Yo, I'll never be shocked again." So that's what she taught me. Then like the Queen of Audit, Janita John, I think she is
Oh yes.
absolutely incredible, and a person that walks into the room and shifts the atmosphere, and unapologetically herself. I used to watch her during like the town halls and stuff, and I'm looking at her, I'm like, "Yo, this is like a superhero. She knows everything." And she'd be nervous, and I'd be like, "Why is Janita John, Queen of Audit, nervous?" And I used to just watch her and just be in awe of, she's so powerful, but she's still so human. So that's, I learned that about her, that power doesn't mean the absence of fear. It's showing up even when you're feeling that way. Yeah. Then Helen, I've told you, Helen is a rock star. She really is like ultimate on authenticity and keeping your word. And she's not afraid. She's just really a person who's not afraid, will challenge ask corporate the questions that need to be asked, and really look after her teams as a result of that. And then currently is my current chief internal auditor, Prabhashni. She's just super, super, super smart. And I think she's helped me a lot with the step up from manager to executive. Like, just think about things differently. Think wider than the stuff that you see. What are the questions that you're not asking? So I'd say off the top of my head, those winners.
It's a full list.
Yeah.
Okay. You have served in many IIA roles over the years. How has the community shaped your career outside of your day job?
A key thing that I've learned in the committees, because I've been in private sector, is that firstly, private sector is not as beautiful and squeaky clean and easy as everyone thinks it is. But there's been a lot of lessons about audit outside of something that's so beautifully structured. I think in the bank, there's so much of structure, regulation that enables you to be like the best. We believe we're the best or one of the best. And sometimes it helps me just take a step back and say, am I actually just being pedantic and too harsh when I'm looking at something? Because in the greater context of things, we're doing quite well. So that's one of the things that it helped me with. It helps put things into perspective. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And looking back at your first year in internal audit, what advice would you give the younger version of yourself today?
Read. Read. Ask the question. Be curious. You don't have to pretend like you know everything. And the asking the question is, I remember we're doing some review, and we're looking at ethics and how they, train people on ethics and make sure that the ethical code is upheld and all of that stuff. And we didn't see anything. Nothing was there. Well, I wouldn't say nothing was there, but what we expected to see was not there. And I remember the client saying to me, "No, but when you switch on your laptop, it says that you adhere to the ethics, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, tick. No skepticism, no question, nothing. I don't have to raise an issue. So I would say be curious, ask the extra question, and be courageous. Like, if something needs to be raised, just raise it. Yeah. But thank goodness his supervisors in our processes that would be like, "Okay, Refilwe, no. Come down now."
Yeah, that's great. And then how can organizations better support women in advancing their careers and taking on leadership roles? Is there a way they can help support?
So I think with policy, I think we need to acknowledge that life stage and career sometimes clash. So at the point where you would expect to accelerate as a woman, as an example, is a point where you start, having children. So you believe, for some, you believe you have to pause your career first before you can continue. So from a policy perspective, as leaders, how do we shift the policies to not allow that pause to happen? Because I think we can lose a lot of great talent as a result. So I think from a policy perspective, think about it that way. And I mean, it's not just the having children, it's even when women get to menopause. Things are happening in your body as I hear. Things shift a lot, and maybe working a 12-hour day doesn't make sense, but maybe give me some flexibility that I can bring my best self to work and give you the best, product. Still deliver on that, but not in a way that's harmful to me. Yeah.
Okay, and then this one. What is a lesson you have learned as a mentor that changed how you show up as a leader? Because we already know how you feel about mentorship. What lessons have you learned? If you have a mentor, yet
That does what?
Okay, so what is a lesson you have learned as a mentor that changed how you show up as a leader?
Yeah. If I've mentored anyone, I don't think I felt like I was being a mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You was just helping
Yeah.
here and there, giving advice here and there.
I don't think I've formally mentored anyone where I can say, so and so is my mentor. This is what I've learned. But I think in leading people, what I've learned is you have to understand each individual and show up for each individual as they need it. I can't lead a team as if I'm leading, a team of Refilwes. It's just not going to work. And then I need to have a balanced team and need to understand what motivates each individual, what sets them, on fire to come as their best self and bring that. But we've spoken about the mentorship part. Yeah.
And then looking at the next generation of women in internal audit, what gives you hope?
They are not afraid. Like they have a beautiful bravery and courage to challenge things. If it doesn't make sense, to keep asking why. I think in the past, like we just ask why once, and then be like, hey, that's how it is. Hey, then you sit in meetings and like, Fifi, why do we do it this way? It doesn't make sense to know. And then sometimes if I sit and I'm like, I also don't know why. It's just how it's been done. So I love that about the new women that are coming up, and I think it's a breath of fresh air. Yeah.
And then what excites you most about internal audit in general? The future of internal audit in general?
What excites me the most? And it's not even about the future. It's about the profession is exciting. The ability to hold a different viewpoint and a different lens and to shape an organization with that lens is what's exciting. We're more powerful than what we think we are. I think business is there to listen. And it's exciting that we have that seat at the table where they do want to listen to us. And yes, it's tough. There's tension. They see things differently, but that's also why we're there. So that's what's exciting about it. Yeah.
And then what role do you think women auditors like yourself should play in building ethical and inclusivity in organizations?
So inclusivity is for us not to be in the room. Like we said, the time of first and only is it's boring, it's done. It's long gone. It's long gone. It is to, I think, stop doing so that you allow other people the opportunity to do, and also allow yourself time to think so that you can teach the how. And maybe that's where the mentorship comes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what mentorship is. And give people opportunities to show up. And in terms of ethics, it's the bravery that's coming with the younger woman is ask the why. Don't just accept things for the way that they've been. And your voice is louder because you have a space at that table. So use that voice. And with that said, sometimes that voice is isolated because you are still the first and only. But use that voice.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what does success look like to you now? And has that changed since you started your career?
No, it hasn't changed. What else it look like? Success is it's being happy, it's being healthy, it's being wealthy. And exactly. And living a life where I'm leaving the world better than what I found it. Yeah. And not from my lens, but from the people that I'm around. So I might say for me, what's better is that the Springboks always win. For you, you might support the All Blacks, and that's what's better. So how do I leave the world better for you in a way that it's for you? It's better, not how, not from my lens. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you hope this Women's Month sparks within the internal audit profession, especially when it comes to inclusion and recognition?
So recognition, Women's Month, IIA conference, same time. I think that's all I can say. I really think that's taken care of itself. In terms of inclusion, I think when we get to a point where we don't need to have a Women's Month, that's when we'll see real inclusion. Yes, celebrate women. I'm not saying take that away. But if I can see more female speakers in June, in May, as opposed to just August, that would be great. So the IIA is quite good at putting different voices for it, but I do want to see more women step up. It's not for the IIA to do it. So maybe the theme for this month is actually bravery. So women, stand up, be brave, put your hand up. I want to speak there. I want to write this article. I want to run this marathon. So use the month for bravery. And that will come, that the inclusion will come naturally.
Sure, yeah. That's powerful. And then can you share a defining moment or turning point in your career that still motivates you today?
I think the jump from business to audit was quite a defining moment in that I didn't even see it as a risk. It was like, this is a natural thing. I want to do this audit thing. So whatever the next steps are, let them feel natural. It can be a risk to the outside, but for me to have that inner peace that this makes sense. Yes, I want the security.
Yeah.
This makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, and then the last question is, any words of encouragement for women aspiring to lead in audit and beyond? Final words.
I think the word of encouragement is to get to know yourself so that you can show up authentically. We like to say be authentic, be yourself, but what does that even mean if you are being everything that everyone else needs you to be? In the movie Runaway Bride, there's a scene where she doesn't even know what type of eggs she likes because whichever groom she was with, that's the type of eggs that she would like. And I think for women, we tend to do that. So my word is find the type of eggs that you like and show up like that, and that will help you innovate in whatever you do.
Whatever you do.
Yeah.
Okay. That brings us to the end of our episode. Refilwe, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us in this conversation. Yeah. And all the best with the rest of your career.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.